Welcome to the last lecture of this module about user needs and preferences. And in this lecture I will talk about the categorization of needs to show you which different needs you can consider as a workplace manager. We've heard in the previous lectures that it's important to support people's needs, to increase workplace satisfaction and experience. But also in a flexible work environment it's important to support certain needs in certain places, because they determine also which workspaces will be used and which will not. So from the field of psychology there's a standard division in three different types of needs: the physical needs, the functional needs and the psychology needs. And in research in our own university in Eindhoven in the Netherlands, we have tried to assign specific needs for the physical work environment to these three categories. So the physical needs are the most basic needs that provide comfort. The functional needs are the ones that are helping you to do your job and to be able to do all the activities, part of your job. And the psychological needs are the more basic human needs that everybody has in a certain extent. So these physical needs refer to the indoor climate. Do you feel comfortable? Is it warm or too cold perhaps? Is there enough light to see what you have to do and not too much light, that it's causing you pain in your eyes? All these things are part of the physical needs of an employee. And lately there's also been more interest in how to provide employees with more personal control of this indoor climate, to see whether they can make the experience of a work environment more positive in general, if people can decide themselves whether they maybe want the temperature a little bit warmer or colder. The functional needs are basically related to the activities that you have to do. And they differ based on whether you are concentrating or perhaps in a meeting with somebody or doing administration or all kind of different parts of a task. But generally the most important functional needs are related to concentration and communication. And also the balance between these two needs are is the most difficult job of a workplace manager. Because when you are concentrating, the communication by your colleagues might be disturbing you in that. So it's not easy to support both in a work environment, and you need different types of areas to support these activities. And also a lot of other aspects of the physical workplace design are related to this. For example, what's the proximity between workers? How much distance do we put between workspaces? How large do we make rooms? How much space does a person get? Do they get storage space and how much? All these things are important to help you do your job well. And then last, of course, there is also the ergonomics aspect of a workplace design. But there's a lot of regulations about this. How high your table should be, what kind of chairs are supporting you in not getting any back problems. So all these kind of aspects will help people do their job well. The psychological needs are very interrelated to each other and makes it even more complex to meet people in their own individual needs, because they're also very different between different people. And some people by nature need more privacy than others, while others really like to have a lot of interactions and have a lot of social talk on the work environment. Similarly, there's a lot of differences in territoriality, and where some people like to hang up a picture of their children, put a plant on the desk. Other people don't really care about this. So also here there's a lot of different ways to stimulate and to motivate people. And some people find it important to express themselves, to show I'm the boss here, I want a larger room than others. And in some organizations this is still the case, while other organizations on purpose don't do this, to make sure that it's clear that everybody is equal in their organization. So there are a lot of different psychological needs that you can try to support as a workplace manager by offering people a diverse and positive workplace experience. So like I said, especially for these psychological needs, but also for the physical and functional needs, there are individual differences. And this is where the work of a workplace manager becomes complicated. Because we know from several studies that people from a different age group have different experience of the work environment. For example, how much light they would like to have in doing their work and how they can deal with noise. Gender also makes a difference. We see from research continuously that females like a little bit higher temperature in the work environment than males. Not always, but in general. So yeah, that's also a difference that you need to deal with somehow if possible. And more recently we're also getting more insight of the effects of personality traits. We know, for example, that more neurotic and introvert people have a harder time ignoring noise and other the conversations by employees in the area. So they are more inclined to go to a concentration booth if it's available. So all these individual differences don't make the job of a workplace manager easier in a sense. But in the next module it will be explained to you how to manage workplaces and how to strategically manage workplaces, and you will get more insight in how to provide an optimally supportive work environment for all employees.